Can you imagine if I just blurted out what he said in Japanese?
That would be amazing.
Just went to. If I was just hiding that from you,
if you just started rattling off Japanese.
I practiced that like all week. I just thought of that.
I would hit the floor.
That would have been awesome if I was ready for that.
Hit it.
Welcome to the Coach's Sons podcast. My name is Andrew.
I'm Chris.
What a few bunch of games we got there, Chris. I love the playoffs. It's my favorite time of the year. Man, there's a couple surprises there, but all in all, we both went 3-1 differently. 3-1 when it comes to how we picked, but I feel like we did a lot better this round than we did the last.
We did, but it was a little bit more chalky. But man, these games, like on a game by game basis,
so good.
These things delivered. Man.
Yeah, very good.
They were must see TV. I'm sorry, we were watching the football games in the background. We got the quad box going on, and we got some crazy end of the half
got
stuff
some shenanigans.
My eyes
shenanigans.
flew out of my head. Anyway, back to baseball here. We had some great games.
Yeah,
we had great series overall. A few go to 5 games. Well, 3? No, 2 of them went to 5 games. 2 of them went 4. One major surprise.
Yep.
I would argue. But yeah, again, just fireworks everywhere.
Yeah,
just tensions high. Like big moments, big players making big plays.
So you say one surprise.
Yeah.
I think there's a surprise too, but I don't think it's the same surprise we're talking about. We'll get to that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, look, the Stars came out and played really well. And there was great pitching. There was not so great pitching. There was just clutch moments throughout the series, and it was great. And we'll touch on all of them, of course. So let's just get into it. Let's just dive into it. Let's start with the NL. Okay. And we're gonna start with Mets Phillies because I just want to know something, Phillies fans. How does it feel? Also, I was right, and if that's a surprise you're talking about, it wasn't a surprise, Chris. I knew the Mets were going to win.
You did.
So
that's why I called it a surprise?
I don't think it's a surprise. I think in the AL there was a surprise, but it's just because it was a lot closer than it should have been based on what we knew. Sure. But anyways, Mets, team of destiny, the hot team, Phillies, bored out of their mind the past couple of weeks, haven't played baseball, and they got their teeth knocked in. I mean, look, they played well too at times, but the Mets were the better team the entire series.
So, yes, but you can't tell me that the first at-bat of the Phillies when Schwarber does his thing, right? Leadoff bomb, Schwarbomb, here we go. And he's just like, the Phillies are just going to dominate, right? Like, here it is, right? And they go on and lose that game. Yep. They waste a hell of a start from Zach Wheeler.
Pitched his ass off that game.
Went 7. I don't have the stats pulled up. I can.
Did he go 7? Oh, he went 7. But they were 7 dominant innings.
He shoved it. He went 7, gave up 1 hit. He did have 4 walks, but 9 strikeouts.
Yeah.
No, and then immediately
he pitched like Wheeler.
Jeff Hoffman comes in and gives up 3 runs.
Yep.
I think that was one of them being the home run to Alonso. Like, it's just a weird, like, that was deflating, right? From a Philly fan perspective, you can't lose that start, right? Wheeler comes out and shoves, and then we don't get back to Wheeler.
Yeah,
right?
Wheeler doesn't get back out.
Wheeler doesn't come back to pitch, which, whatever. You need
him
for game 5.
To the Phillies starters' credit, I mean, like, Ranger pitched the best he could for, like, in his outing too. Like, I don't feel like the Philly starters are at all to blame.
No, it was the bats.
Yeah.
The bats just kind of went dead. I have a stat here that was their hitters outside of Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos were 13 for 100. Ooh. That's that for those keeping score at home. That's a 130 batting average.
By the way, that's bad.
No doubles, 1 home run. That's a 1.80 slugging and a .430 OPS.
That is bad.
So the other point to make is, I hope I caught it. Maybe I didn't. But starters specifically were fine for the Phillies.
Yes, starters specifically.
The bullpen
looked bad.
For as good as it's been, right? Hoffman All-Star, Matt Strahm All-Star. They added those guys, Soto, I don't even remember if you, at this point, they're so far out of my mind, I don't even remember who pitched what, but I do know in this year, I got a few different ERAs numbers. I didn't calculate them myself, but they gave up 16 earned runs in like 11 and a 2/3 innings.
Not good.
They're very bad.
Yeah.
And the Mets seem, again, team of destiny vibes. Like every big hit came from them.
Yep.
Every big out they needed, they got from whomever, from Sean Manaea to Jose Quintana to their bullpen. Like even Diaz, like he came out and struggled. And
he struggled, but got it figured out.
They still get it done. It's just a weird.
And I mean, look, and Lindor continues to play like an MVP player. Like he's been great in the playoffs. He was good all year, great all year even, but he's even stepped it up more in the playoffs. And that fucking grand slam, dude. Wow.
Chills.
I can't tell you how satisfying it was to scroll through TikTok to see Philly fan reaction.
Yeah, I mean they're broken, right?
Yeah.
So now it's fire sale. It's get rid of everybody.
Yeah,
whatever. Right?
It's worst case. Yeah,
but I mean that is testament of like Bryce Harper did, like certain guys did their jobs, like, and that's what you need so much of in the playoffs, right? Because go do your job. I need make it up bullpen. I need an inning out of you.
Yep.
Go do your job.
I
need a base hit here.
Don't
go
lose
do
it
your
for
job.
us. Yep.
Right, and then it probably gets to a point where like Harper's on base, like. He can't hurt the Judge Soto discussion, right? Harper's on base. He can't hurt us anymore. Like, okay, Castellanos picked him up a little bit, which, that played and helped him out. But, like, Alec Boehm didn't do anything. They're going to run that guy out of Philly, right? Trey Turner didn't do much. Besides that leadoff homer, Schwarber was basically unseen.
Yeah, I don't know if Schwarber did anything else.
He had 2 or 3 hits in the first
I know
game.
the game that they won, which was only 7-6, by the way, he went 0 for 5. Like, so, I mean, I don't think they got much out of him, to be quite honest with you. And Sanchez went 5 innings. I mean, so that's the one game the Phillies didn't get a great game out of the starter, but Castellanos did really well. I mean, it's just the Phillies just look like they're on their back heels the entire series, which, by the way, has been the Braves the past 2 years. That's why I was saying it. Like, I don't know what's with the NL East, and I guess it's a bad idea to win that division because, especially by a lot, because you're going to come out and you're going to get your teeth knocked in by the team that's hot. And I don't want to say it, but I'm proudly saying I told you so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and spoiler alert, don't want to ruin anybody if you're going to keep listening to the podcast, right? If you don't know who win, if you've been living under a rock for some reason, they're the only team with the bye to have lost.
Right.
So everybody, that's not a good, like if the Dodgers lose, now that excuse heightens
Dodgers
up
tried. The Dodgers tried to lose for sure.
But again, like those conversations start to heighten a little bit.
I agree.
Right,
like they're the only bye team that lost. That's fair. But I would argue they're the team that had the biggest time off of the bye teams.
Again, I mean, I'm just trying to look up some stats now. Like again, conversely to the Phillies, right? We're going to talk more Mets here in a second when we do the championship series preview. But like, Pete Alonso, 2 homers, walked 4 times, OPS of 1.2. Lindor, 900 OPS. Like, Nimmo, 944
Nimmo
OPS.
played well,
right? Like those guys showed up, and for the most part, that's really it. JD Martinez had a few timely hits, right? He hit 333, had a 733 OPS. Oh, Jesus Christ, Mark Vientos. Baller. Yep. I remember the time that somebody here thought Brett Beatty was the answer.
Yep.
He's not. And then somehow I guess we'll just talk about it right now. I don't understand how Jesse Winker just came to be like the most hated person in baseball.
I don't know either.
Nobody likes him.
No, everybody hates that guy.
So he
attitude? I don't know.
I think. I mean, he soiled so like. I mean, he came to Seattle, stunk. Like
that's
stunk.
fair. Yeah.
Then he went to Milwaukee.
Was bad. He was bad
and
in Milwaukee.
Recently, he started talking shit about Milwaukee. Like, I hate it there, or nobody treated me good. And they like started him in the postseason. So he hit 199 through his entire season.
Yep.
I saw a few places. I believe there's a brewery, and sorry I didn't look up the name, but there's a brewery out there that did like $1.99 special just to like a giant middle finger to Jesse Winker, right? Like just like screw all. Like everybody doesn't like him, and then
Yep.
like he does like the corny stuff, right? Like, not like.
I know what you mean.
Corny, right? Spike in that helmet, and then you're
Yeah.
like, dude, just like he just makes people mad.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
it is funny, but I mean, shit, he had a 1.5 OPS. Like the Mets showed up, and again, you have Nick Castellanos, Bryce Harper, and then the next highest OPS, not counting. I guess you could count Cody Clemens. He had 5 at bats. He was 1,000, but Bohm. This is OPS now, not batting average.
Yeah, exactly.
220, Alec Bohm. Brandon Marsh, 154. JT
220.
Realmuto, 313. Rojas, 533. Schwarber, 576. Schwarber struck out 6 times in 16 at bats.
Yep. That's Schwarber's MO though.
Bryson Stott, 671. I thought that said Ranger Suarez. Trey Turner, 494. Again, we're talking OPS.
That's OPS.
We're not talking
bad.
batting average.
So
We're talking
nobody
on-base plus.
no one sniffs 700 other than those 2 top guys.
Yeah, and that's why like that stat's so
Damn.
alarming, right?
Damn.
They just didn't perform.
I wonder what their team OPS was for the series.
I think it tells us. Yeah, it was 598.
As a team?
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, that's
They
brutal.
hit 186.
Yeah, you can't
they
win
went-
series doing that.
they
yeah.
went-
Yeah.
24 for 129.
Yeah.
And again,
Yikes.
Castellanos had 7 hits and Harper had 4 hits.
Harper only had 4 hits.
Yeah.
They must have walked him a shit ton, didn't they?
He had 5 walks.
Yeah, okay, that
He,
makes
he
sense.
only had 12 at bats,
Oh, okay. Okay.
but 16 plate appearances.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, yeah.
They don't show me plate appearances here.
Well, damn. I mean, look, you can't blame starters. You can blame the bullpen and most of the lineup.
Ranger Suarez, Zach Wheeler, 0 runs. Matt Strahm, 4 runs. Christopher Sanchez, 2 earned runs. That's fine. He gave you a couple. He gave you 5 innings.
Yeah, 5
That's not
innings,
fine.
yep.
Jose Ruiz, 1 earned run in 1 1/3 inning. Aaron Nola, 4 earned
Yeah,
runs. That's tough.
Nola got
right?
slammed.
Kirkering had 1 run, so he was fine. They used him a decent bit. He threw 3 2/3. Jeff Hoffman, 1.16 earned.
Oof.
Estevez, 1 earned, which was a big one. Estevez gave up the home run to Lindor.
Yes.
Hoffman got credited for the runners on. Hoffman came out.
Interesting. Okay.
Estevez only had the Lindor.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're Estevez, whoever. Somebody got 6 has 3 additional earned runs to their name because of that. So again, the entire ERA of the Phillies, 5.82.
Yeah.
ERA of the Mets, 2.78.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right? Edwin Diaz gave up 3 runs. Severino gave up 3 and 6, and then
Yep.
nobody else gave up more than 1. Manayo 1, McGill 1, Matone, whatever the hell. Ryan Stan, that's the name of the game. They
Do your
didn't
job.
hit,
Do
and
your
their
job.
bullpen didn't
Yep.
pitch well.
You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose
Their
those
starting
series.
pitching put them in a position to win games,
They couldn't
and that's
close.
all you could ask for.
Yep.
And if you're going to go an entire series and hit 186,
You're gonna lose.
Where are you going? The Mets hit 359.
That's
for
high.
comparison.
I mean, that's high.
Sure, no, that's
Yeah,
abnormal.
yeah,
but
yeah.
even at you hit 250, you
still win that series.
They lost
Yep.
a couple 1-run games, or whatever. Sorry, they lost. They won 1 run.
The
game.
Phillies won the 7-6 game. That was game I
They
think
did.
2.
Game 2.
But everything else was
Regardless,
2 or more.
They would have been in a better spot game 4. It just bad, poor performance from the Phillies. The Mets showed up, and I think that's the extent of it.
Yep.
I don't know how much more breakdown you need.
No, absolutely
I do
not.
think there's going to be a lot of changes in Philly. What that looks like, I don't know, because they're almost stuck of we have to run it back with this team, and this is who we have. But they're going to run Bohm out of town.
They've gone 3 straight years that they've made the playoffs and made. In the last 2 years, they made significant runs. This one, they had a great season and then it couldn't close it. So yeah, something has to
World
change.
Series, Championship Series, Divisional Series. They're just kind of
They keep getting less and less.
They're going
I
backwards.
thought the World Series. They didn't go to the World Series last year.
No, that was the Diamondbacks.
Oh,
They
you're
lost
right.
the
You're right.
Diamondbacks
Okay, it was the
in
one
CS.
before. Okay, yeah.
So World
oh yeah, so
Series,
they keep getting less and less.
Championship Series,
That's a bad trend.
It is,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when you go to the World Series, right, you're going to regress.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. But yeah,
again,
no.
just patience has to be running. The right, Philly isn't a forgiving city in that regard.
they're not, and then also too, they're getting old, are they not?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Time's running out.
because Real Muto's probably older. Castellanos definitely is.
Yeah,
Bryce
they're up
is
there.
not a spring chicken, although Bryce.
yeah,
I mean, Bryce is fine.
He's
Like,
far from the problem.
Trey
He's there for the next
Turner
9 years.
is
Trey
streaky
Turner's
as
30,
hell.
31.
Bomb's younger though.
He's 28. He's
Yeah.
older than
Is
he
he?
should be. Yeah, he's older than you think he is.
Oh damn.
I'll find out though. What do you think he is? I'm saying 28.
I mean, I was thinking he was 26.
No. I know
I
that
didn't know
for
it
a fact.
Really? Okay. See, I thought Bum was young.
He's 28 in
Damn.
71 days.
Okay.
So 28 years and 71 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's old. He came on a little later than you think. So anyway, that's what, like, if we're gonna talk more Mets here in a second, and I've been getting texts from our boy Tyler, and he just wants us to keep doubting them. He thinks we're fueling the fire.
You guys have been good luck for us.
Yeah, he thinks we're adding wood to the fire. So we'll get more into Mets talk when we talk NLCS. They move on 3 games, 2-1. Let's jump to the other division series.
So I'm heartbroken by this because here's my take here. The best pitcher and the best batter in that series was on the team that lost. Because Yu Darvish was the best pitcher, and fucking Tatis, who's been playing lights out the entire playoffs, was also the best batter, and they lost that series. That's tough. Whereas the Phillies got their teeth kicked in, they were never going to win. The Padres looked like they were, and
they had everything.
They had everything they possibly could want, and they just couldn't. They couldn't finish off the Dodgers. That's sad.
And I think when we're saying, like, talk about like heightened series and postseason, like, this had it all.
God,
right?
This is my favorite series of them all.
Game 1, Shohei hitting the big home run, right? Now, mind you, he hasn't really done a whole lot this postseason beyond that. But that was big. They end up winning the game 7-5. Move on. Game 2, Tatis hits the ball to Jupiter.
Good Lord.
Tatis is a freak. And then bottom 1, you have Profar going in, robbing the home run.
Oh, my God.
Nobody knows. Mookie's about to round for home, still has no idea. So then that just starts the whole tension of,
oh, man,
like, the Padres are, here's these guys
chirping.
Because who was really signaled out was Profar, Machado, and Tatis.
Yes, correct.
Right? The most animated people, right? Which they are.
The shit talkers. What a shocker.
But, man, they backed it up there for a little while.
They did. Well, I mean, game 3, they beat the Dodgers, like, what, 10-2?
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, they win that second game. That catch by Profar, still one of the better catches I've seen.
It's incredible.
And he just sat there and taunted the fans because, I mean, I'm sure they've been chirping him the whole time. And then, like, the fans get rowdy, shit gets thrown. Apparently, Machado threw a baseball at the Dodgers bullpen.
Yeah, so that happened,
or something like that.
Happens a little further on. I forget in between what set of games.
But to me, it just like he was just throwing it off the field. I don't think it was
that whole
intentional.
Thing, like, blew up.
That was so
think
weird.
That was game 3 into
was
game
that game 3?
4?
Oh, I thought that was the same game with all the shit.
I don't know. It was either game. I forget exactly what game.
Yeah, because game 2 is when, like, they had to delay the game for like 8 or 10 minutes.
Well, people were throwing shit on the field.
Exactly.
So tensions are high.
Right?
People they're ready to go at it. Now these teams don't like each other anyway.
No, absolutely. That's why the series is so much fun.
Did the whole, like, you have to have this address or this zip code to buy a ticket anyway. Like they were proactive. Now this was in LA, but again, you got fans throwing stuff onto the field. Then you have, like, the tensions rising of whatever happened. Again, like, the Machado thing was weird. Because, like, again, it looked as though, end of an inning or new baseball. It's like, oh, this is the closest dugout. Like,
that's what it looked like to me.
Maybe it had some extra pepper on it. But, I mean, in terms of, like, if Manny Machado wanted to put a ball into Dave Roberts' chest, he'd put a ball into Dave Roberts' chest.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, wasn't it Flaherty in game 2 told him to sit the fuck down after striking him out?
So, Flaherty is a big shit talker too. Like, again, whatever.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. Talk your shit. I love
that. Was great.
But Jack Flaherty ended the series with the 6.75 ERA. He gave up 4 runs in 5.1 innings.
He got tattooed. Yeah.
What do you want to, But
or he got tatised.
Sure. I mean, again, talk about a guy on another planet. Fernando Tatis Jr. just did everything he needed to do to try and get this team forward, man.
Yeah.
He had 3 home runs. He's got 5 RBI. He's just doing whatever.
What was his OPS by the end of it?
1.359.
Because I know through the first 20 at bats, he had the best ever for the first 20 at bats in any playoff appearance. It was
1.359.
It was So I mean, which is still
he
really
hit
great.
350.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, he did everything he possibly could, and I'm disappointed. I wanted it to be the Padres. I thought that they had the moxie. The Dodgers look flat, even though here's the deal: the Dodgers won, and I'm still not sure how, because I don't feel like anyone has really stood out on the side of the Dodgers to help them win. So it's just like it's just because they're all so good. So it's just kind of like how do you beat this team?
They're piecemeal, man. Like again, when you say your job,
like Freddie went out too, right?
Freddie is not healthy.
Yeah, his ankle is busted.
Maybe these couple days off. I mean, he's going to play tonight. So we'll see how that looks.
Oh right, we didn't even. Yeah,
we didn't even say that. It's 3:07 p.m. on Sunday. You're gonna hopefully be listening to this within the next hour or so. We're pretty much gonna publish this, so you have some time to to reel it all in. Right, NLCS starts
most
tonight.
likely. You're gonna listen to this on Monday morning after Game 1.
Yeah, that's fine. But I get it. But it's piecemealed, right? Like but then they're down 2-1, backs against the wall. Now they're in San Diego, and what do they come out with? Your favorite bullpen game, and they win 8-0, bud.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, look, that's the one time the bullpen game worked for. I think the Padres were just like, we got this. This is ours. Like after Game 3, the Padres stepped off the gas.
Sure, but you can't.
No,
I mean, well, to the point of like again, they have the bullpen game, right? Let's see. I love to see how many pitchers they use because I think it's hilarious.
I think it was a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pitchers. No, 8 pitchers through. A team effort. They didn't give up a run. Like what do you want them to do?
Only 7 hits too.
7 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts combined. Like. They just did, again, do your job, and that's what they did. And what happened? Dylan Cease gave up 3 runs in an inning and 2/3.
Yeah.
Right? And he wasn't good. He wasn't as good as we thought he was going to be.
Correct.
And that hurts.
Yep.
Right? Cease had a 14 ERA. And again, we're talking a 2-game sample size. We're talking 5 innings.
But still,
he gave up
wasn't
8
good.
runs. You can't. We need you, bud.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
We paid you all that money to be the ace, and you were not the ace.
And again, to your point, Darvish, 13 innings, 3 runs, or 13.2, 3 earned runs.
Yeah, Darvish pitched amazing.
Michael King really didn't do his job. 5 innings, 5, right? Like, so you keep going down the list. And Tanner Scott and Robert Suarez were great. Tanner Scott 3 innings. Like, so their bullpen did pretty well. Their starters, they were almost reverse of the Phillies, right? The starters kind of hurt them.
Bullpen carried.
And I'd be remiss right now if we don't talk about Yoshinobu Yamamoto and his performance in Game 5 with different pressure than anybody else has, right? Because you're a $300+ million man. Nobody really knows much about you because you didn't even pitch that much this year.
No, absolutely.
Right? Like, everybody knows you're supposed to be this.
Did he pitch 6 or 5?
He went 5.
But it was shut. I mean, it was like 2 hits, no hit, like no runs.
Stat line is.
I mean, he pitched well. That's the thing. Like he pitched really well.
He could have kept going.
Yeah.
He went. Where is he? Sorry. Pitching. 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts.
Yeah. Not dominant, but it's exactly what you needed.
He wasn't particularly good in the first game he pitched.
No. But he wasn't bad. He wasn't awful like Cease was.
He had, so would we say he got 0 runs in Game 2?
Yep.
That he pitched. He was, where the hell is he? I mean, he gave up 5 runs in his first.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
So, again, he wasn't, when they needed him most, he was. Yeah. Right? He did what he needed to do. He probably could have went more, but then you're talking, lineups and going through 3 times and all this shit. But for what we thought Game 5 was going to be, right? You're probably thinking 10-8, right? Like
2-0.
These bullpens are tired. 2-0. Pitching performance between Yamamoto and Darvish, who I believe, I'm pretty sure I saw the reports that Shohei and probably him look up to. Like, he is their idol, right? One of their idols, right? Like, he is probably a mentor in some capacity. He's been here. He's been doing it for years.
Yep.
Darvish has been a above average / all-star caliber player in Major League Baseball for years. And, mentor, again, I don't know if he's a mentor, I'm kind of saying, but mentor, first 2 mentees, Shohei facing off against him and Yamamoto going toe-to-toe. It was a great ending, like not what you wanted to see or not what you expected to see.
Right.
But then you sit back, you're like, ooh, that was good. Like
that was good. That was good ball.
Right?
That was good ball.
It was a good baseball game.
Absolutely.
And like to the point about Freddie's banged up. He had a hard hit ball into right, made a hard turn into first.
And
I thought he was just gonna fall over.
Nasty. Looked real bad.
He couldn't move. So maybe he's good to go. Maybe he's all hopped up. Who
played first? Muncy?
Freddie played first.
No, but they took him out though.
At the end of game 5, like 8th or 9th inning, Freddie came out for Muncy.
Okay, that's what. Okay, gotcha.
And Muncy did start at first for one of the other games when Freddie got scratched late.
Yeah, really late. No, but I agree. Like he's just not healthy, and they need him.
Yeah, we'll see if he can. He's obviously gonna gut it out. But I think he has the wherewithal where if he thinks he's going to hurt them,
yes, Freddie is a selfless player for sure. Yeah,
I mean, if he can go, he's going to go. Yeah. And I haven't seen a lineup to this point yet for tonight.
That's true.
So I think I'm just going to assume he's good to go. I mean, going off of an extra day or two off.
Yeah,
that was October 11th. 12th. Yeah,
I mean, it really depends on how bad the ankle was. So
I mean, it's bad. I saw a report earlier that he was going to, like, if it was regular season, he would have been out like 6 weeks. Like, it's a pretty bad sprain.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Yeah, and he got this injury, like we're saying 6 weeks, like happened at like the last week of the season. Like,
yep, that's tough.
So I feel like that's a very much a bridge version of all that went down in this series.
Yes.
Right? It kind of had it all. Right, it was homer after homer. We're matching. Mookie finally gets the better of Profar, and Profar almost robs another one. Right?
He does, yeah.
Mookie gets him this
literally
time.
like ran slow and watched. Like, is it?
Yeah, it's
out?
like, you're not getting me again, right? Mookie showed up. He had 2 homers, 889 OPS. Kike Hernandez, like the 2 guys who show up in Game 5 when. This is almost like when you get into December and you're Darvish and you're just like, man, like I didn't let Shohei beat me, I didn't let Mookie beat me, I didn't let Freddie beat me, but God damn it, Teoscar Hernandez and Kike Hernandez are the 2 that got me.
I mean,
he gave up 2 solo home runs, and that's it. And again, Teoscar's had a very good year, all-star, not disputing that at all.
Yeah,
but it goes against the argument I make all the time of like, pitch around those guys when you can, right? The big stars.
Do that.
And you have to make those other guys beat you, and that's a championship caliber team when those other guys step up and they come and beat you.
That grand slam was huge.
What are we talking about?
Teoscar?
When did he? Oh, shit. That was game what? 4? I don't know.
I think it was 4. Yeah.
I forgot he had a grand slam.
Yeah.
I'm talking about game 5.
Oh,
I'm
gotcha.
talking all the chips are down.
Yep.
However, you're right. I just forget when he hit it. But yes, it was huge at that particular point in time. And again, that's what makes a championship caliber team. It's all these extra guys that are. Wait, again, to the Phillies' point, Bryce Harper did his job. Castellanos did his job.
Yep.
Where's everybody else?
Yeah.
Right? Shohei kind of struggled. Kike had a 1,000 OPS over his 9 at-bats. Teoscar had a 1.067 over his 18 at-bats. Mm-hmm. And that's probably the difference.
Mookie?
889.
Okay, because Mookie, but that's more than fine.
I mean, that's good. Shohei was 623. Was not good.
Okay,
hilarious thing. I just looked and they are there now. But for a while, Shohei's postseason stats were not on the MLB website. Like you could click on any Dodgers player, and the first thing that comes up on mobile is their postseason stats.
Right.
I'm on desktop, and it showed it there.
Interesting.
It was there.
Interesting.
But for like the last 3 days, it was not. But the Dodgers win, man.
Yep.
They do what they need to do, much to everybody's chagrin, because I do think everybody was rooting for the Padres.
I agree.
Well, I don't know. So many people hate Manny Machado, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't get
but
that.
that's that whole like old school versus new school baseball thing. Like Machado and Tatis are the epitome of new school baseball, and they're very flamboyant, very. I mean, like like when Tatis hit that ball to Jupiter, like you said. He watched it for a solid 5 seconds before he left the batter's box. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, that's gone. So it is what it is. I just checked, by the way. The Dodgers still don't have a lineup, but Flaherty, they just announced Flaherty is gonna start game 1.
Correct.
So, but that was 40 minutes ago.
So, we do have Flaherty going game 1.
Yeah.
First, Kodai Senga. So screw it. We're jumping into NLCS now.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
That's it. I have nothing more to say. Padres are going to be a different team because Tanner Scott's probably going to leave. All that. So we got a shit ton of off-season stuff to come.
We'll get to that later.
But we're on to NLCS because that is in like 5 hours from now. So we're trying to get it to the people. Tyler's already texted me asking me when it's coming out. So we've got to get this to
All right, so let's talk about the Mets.
The Mets.
They're the
Kodai Senga, game 1.
Senga game 1 did not pitch well his game 1 against the Phillies. I think he got like maybe 2 innings.
I think he did fine, didn't he?
I think yeah, but I mean he just pitched. I mean, okay, not well is the wrong term. He just pitched 2 innings and got the hell out.
Okay, hang on. We're gonna have this discussion again.
Here we
Just
go.
because you need every starting pitcher to go 6 or 7 innings doesn't mean he didn't do his. He did give up 1 run.
There
But
you
anyway,
go. See, all right,
that's fine.
two
They gave up-
innings, whatever.
He went 2 innings. That's all they. What do you want him to do? If that's all they asked him to do, he literally said verbatim. Via translator. Excuse me. Can you imagine if I just blurted out what he said in Japanese?
That would be amazing.
Just went to. If I was just hiding that from you,
if you just started rattling off Japanese.
I practiced that like all week. I just thought of that.
I would hit the floor.
That would have been awesome if I was ready for that. But verbatim via translation was like, I'll go as long as he needs me to. If it's 30 pitch,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's no longer verbatim. I'm
Yeah.
making it up. But if he needs me to go 30 pitches, he needs me to go 200. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like you tell me. So he did what was asked of
That's
him.
fair. Okay.
And then David Peterson's kind of acting like the bulk reliever guy, but he's a starter,
Yep.
right? So it's like, hey, go get me a couple outs, get Peterson in the game, probably facing bottom of the order, and now he gets to face the guys a couple times through before they pass it over. So I don't know what to expect from Senga.
Right.
To your point,
Big question mark.
if we were betting on this and his props and stuff, I would probably bet some unders, right? Because it certainly feels as though he's not going to have a super long leash. And that goes for any starting pitcher, right? They're not going to be able to, it's not May. They're
Can't
not
afford
gonna
it.
leave you
Yeah,
out
you
there
can't
to give
afford
up
it.
3 or 4
Yeah.
runs. It's, oh shit, there's guys on first and second. Like, we got to get him out of this game. Like, and I don't care what inning it is. Like, we need to win.
Yeah.
Now, we are on a 7-game series.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot, it's a lot different. There's a lot that can happen. It's a long time from now, right? The way the games are spread out, I haven't even quite looked at everything per se, but we've got baseball today.
Dude,
It's gonna be
so
fucking awesome.
so here's the deal. The Mets are the hot team. There's no doubt about it. But also, I don't know how this team's going to do in 7 games against the Dodgers, who, like you've said, are just figuring it out. Like their guys are all the way up and down that lineup. They're getting the job done, and so from a longevity standpoint, to your buddy's point, I'm going to continue to throw fuel on the fire. I don't think the Mets have the ability to keep it going for 7 games against the Dodgers. But I think if the Mets can ride the high and take the first 2 games, then. But if they can't
You asked him to take 2 on the road?
I'm saying if they don't take those 2, they're going to get swept or they're going to lose in 5.
Oh. So, this might change your mind.
Okay.
I think I should have this ready. I'm pretty sure it is 2-3-2.
Really?
95% sure.
2-3-2. Okay. They keep changing the format, so.
All right, let's see. Hang on. 13th, 14th at Dodgers.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
At Mets, at Mets, at Mets.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
3 games.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so this is what's crazy. So they're going to go today, tomorrow, right? NLC and ALCS is going to do something different, but they start tomorrow as opposed to tonight. But we've got today, tomorrow, and then they come back on the 16th. So that they'll be off Tuesday, come back Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is going to be crazy to talk like this. But then they play Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They're playing 3 days in a row.
Yep.
So now it's a kind of a weird setup. Now, I haven't seen the entire rotation. Maybe I missed it. I only know the Mets are going with Manaea for game 2.
Yeah, Dodgers are
I
still
haven't heard
TBD.
anything on the
Yeah.
Dodgers front yet. You would expect Sunday, like probably Sunday or game 1, game 5. So you're probably going to need 4 starting pitchers, or or a semblance of a plan.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
your first 4 games.
Yep.
Right. If you're going to do a bullpen game, whatever, you know that beforehand. But because I know we're going to get there, but I know the Yankees are going with 4 starters. So Senga game 1, Minaya game 2. We can't really recap the rest. What I do know is what we suspected is there's no reinforcements coming.
Right.
Kershaw's not coming back. I guess I don't know about Glasnow, but my assumption is he's not close or coming back. I haven't heard anything. But Gavin Stone just had shoulder surgery, and he's done for 2025.
Hold on. I can tell you the 20-man roster. Banda, Brazier, Bueller,
Bueller will
Kasparis,
get a game.
Flaherty, Henriquez, Honeywell, Hudson, Knack, Kopech, Phillips, Trindon, Yamamoto.
Okay, so it's probably going to look like Yamamoto might go game 2, depending on timing. I don't know the exact timing.
Or Bueller,
Yamamoto,
Yep.
and then Knack will probably get either a start or he'll be a bulk guy.
Yeah, well, Phillips is their bulk guy too. I believe so.
He doesn't go that many.
Really?
2 maybe.
Oh, okay. I thought he did. I thought he did 4 the other day. Oh, okay.
No, that would be no.
Okay.
Knack would be there. Like he started games.
Yep. What about Kopech?
No,
Because they got him from.
Yeah, he just
the White
throws
Sox.
smoke for as long as he can, which is like an inning.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Didn't know how they were using him. But yeah, I think that sounds right timing wise. It'll be Flaherty, Bueller, Yamamoto. So I mean, look, the Mets got
Minaya, you're probably getting Quintana for the Mets.
Probably 3.
So that's probably what you're doing. And then they went. Did they do a bullpen game?
I don't think they had to.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, Severino. So yeah, there you
Severino.
go.
Yeah.
So they've got their 4 guys, and
they're
again,
ready.
they're willing to pull the plug. They're because they do have Peterson that can go long relief if he has to.
Yep.
I think this is going to be a good series.
I do too. Okay, let me walk back my prediction of. But I do think the Mets have to take one of the 2 games, 100%. They have to. They have to take one of the 2 games.
That's more reasonable. The way you were talking.
Yeah, sorry. They have to take one of the 2 games because if they lose 2, then the pressure is you got to sweep in New York. Because again, the long game's not. You're just not going to outlast the Dodgers. Just because here's the deal: Mookie's going to beat you 1 game. And fucking Shohei is going to beat you 1 game, and then the rest of the lineup are going to beat you the rest, right? So you've got to get those games early. So I don't know. Momentum is key, dude, and the Mets are riding high. And what we've seen, the Phillies 3 years ago, the fucking Diamondbacks last year, and the Mets are the team this year. Every single one of those teams are hot at the right time, and they make it all the way to the World Series. Now, have any of them won it?
I don't think so.
No. So
Phillies didn't.
The Diamondbacks didn't. And I don't know what we're gonna have this year. But hey, I mean, really, who am I to bet against what the common trend has been? So maybe we should go Mets in 7. I don't know.
I mean, you tell me. What's your pick, Bo? What's your pick, Hoss? Because go ahead. I'll give you my soapbox when you're done.
Look, I hate both these teams, as we know. The Dodgers are the evil empire of the National League.
Sure.
The Mets, fuck the Mets at all times because they're in my division. They've been talking about how the Mets are going to be the team to win or to beat every year for the past 10 years, and they continue to figure out how to screw it up, and they're not this year, so good for them. I'm really tempted to say Mets in 7, but I'm not going to. I'm going to say Dodgers in 7.
Tyler's going to be sour.
Well, he's going to love it. He wants us to continue to throw fuel on that fire. So I just don't think the Mets are going to be able to keep up with the Dodgers for 7 games. So I'm going to say Dodgers in 7.
I'll give you my spiel in a second, or my pick. But Shohei really hasn't done much.
Right.
So let's see. I expect him to break out, right?
You can't keep a man like that down.
Much like his counterpart in the AL, which I'll get to him in a second.
Yep.
This is his first postseason, so I'm willing to give him the first couple set of games, although he did hit a home run in game 1 there. But he's due, right? He's going to wreck some games here. you would expect Mookie to wreck a game or two. I at this point, I think I'm wrong to expect Freddie to make a huge impact. Maybe a single here or there, but nothing, in the power realm, at least to think of. The pitching is suspect. The starting pitching, like, yes, you have Yamamoto. Like, sure, Flaherty's been good. And then, to your point, like, Walker Buehler hasn't been good. Is Knack going to actually get a start, or are they just going to go bullpen? I know that Vesia got hurt. He was a big piece of their bullpen lefty. So he is not on the roster due to injury. I'm pretty sure I heard you name Brent Honeywell. He was not on the DS roster. So welcome to the, he's been in the league, but like,
Right.
Welcome to the show, bud. We need you here. So, remains to be seen what their, how their strategy is going to go. But, going down that lineup is not easy, right? Again, Shohei doesn't show up. You still got to beat Teoscar. Will Smith really hasn't gotten going, right? So this is the chalk pick. I'm going Dodgers, and I'm going 6. I don't know if it's that the Mets run is over so much as the Dodgers are just going to be a little bit better.
Yep.
Right? Alonso, if Alonso cools down, if Lindor cools down, even a little bit, right? Even, if that grand slam turns into a double, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like those small little things, like, maybe, again, to your point, like maybe we're just wrong and you have to be taking these hot teams and good things are going to keep happening because they keep putting themselves in those A+ situations. But I'm going to take the Dodgers in 6. I think it's 2 star-studded. Again, I don't think it's because the Mets play particularly poorly.
I agree.
I just think they run out of gas, and
Yep.
the Dodgers
Look,
kind of lean on them a little.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. The problem is you can't relax at all against the Dodgers, and the Dodgers
Correct.
aren't going to make as many mistakes. Like, you have to outright beat the Dodgers, like the Padres did those 2 games. Like, they were the better team because their players stepped up, and the Mets have those guys to do that. But they have to do it the entire series to beat the Dodgers, and I don't know if they have the ability to do that.
I mean, again, if you're going to get a series like that out of Mark Vientos, if Brandon Nimmo's going to do that, if JD Martinez is going to come up with clutch hits, like if they're all going to do that, the Mets will win the series.
I agree. I completely agree. And like I said, I'm tempted to go with the Mets because they're the hot team. I really am.
You have to almost be willing as the Dodgers to make those other guys do it again.
Yep.
Right? Alonso's going to get his, apparently, right? Alonso's showing up. He's going to get paid big time. He'll be a Met for life. The Francisco Lindor is never going anywhere for right now. He is that guy. He's built for the moment. He's going to do whatever he wants to do.
If you're the Dodgers, you don't pitch to him once.
Correct. But now is Mark Vientos going to do what he's doing?
Yeah.
Is Brandon Nimmo going to keep doing that? Is Jose Iglesias and the oh my God going to keep doing it? Right? And that song's catchy. Don't give me do a little salsa every time it comes on, right? But like, if those guys do it, that's their key to the series. Those guys have to do it again.
Yep.
And I am unwilling to put my hard-earned 100% reputation on it. And by reputation, I'm the worst gambler you'll ever meet. So, Mets probably win. So kudos to you.
You mean Dodgers?
No, I'm saying they probably end up winning because I picked the Dodgers.
Oh, fair. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So
okay,
so that's it there.
So we both said you're Dodgers in 6. I'm Dodgers in 7.
Yeah, we're just adding another thing to be wrong about.
Exactly,
Like, we should just pick, but regardless, I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Sweet. AL.
I don't like it. I hate it.
All right. Here's the deal. So the surprise to me was the fact that the Tigers took the Indians.
The who?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Guardians. My bad. The Tigers took the Guardians for everything they were worth. And here's the deal. Game 5, we have our guy, the best pitcher by far in the AL, coming up to pitch. And to his credit, pitched well or good enough he did not. The first 4 innings.
Sure. Okay.
Like because he pitched 6? Maybe it was the first 5 innings because he pitched 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 5 unearned runs, and all of those happened in that last inning with the grand slam he gave up to Thomas.
Bomb.
Wayne Thomas. Yeah, bomb. Yeah.
So the series of events there is that bases loaded, Jose Ramirez up, who you're like, oh no, like he's the one that's gonna do something, right? Jose Ramirez, that's their guy. Mano y mano, right?
Yep.
Like my best versus your best. This
Let's
playoff
go.
baseball. Here we go, and he hit
him
Ramirez pretty hard. Ramirez is kind of ringing in pain for a little bit there, and this is in the 5th inning, by the way.
Okay, so it was 4. Okay, so the first 4.
So he went.
Like I said, there was no runs the first 4 innings. Like literally, he was good up until that inning, and then he just imploded.
Sure. Yeah, I guess. I mean, he ended up finishing the inning. They let him finish.
Correct.
I guess, whatever. Anyway, the very next pitch, Lane Thomas hits to Mars.
Yeah.
Grand slam, and that's it.
There's like overcompensation for sure because he I hit somebody, let me get it more towards the plate, and he gave him a fat pitch that Lane just didn't miss. By the way, Lane Thomas is probably the MVP of that series because he has not done much for that team, but hit a bomb, I think, in the first, like a 3-run homer in the first game, had a couple RBIs in game 4, and then that game changer in game 5. So, I mean, I think he definitely is a guy that stepped up when they needed him.
Yeah, especially, that MVP type conversation heightens, right, when it's that big of a moment when it is game 5.
Yeah.
But, like, to the point of don't forget, like, what the hell's his name? David Fry had a huge at-bat, too, had a huge home run.
Fry had
he had a huge game in game 4, to put them into that spot.
Yep.
So, again, like, they just, game 4, sorry. Like, they just did enough. Yeah. And I guess it is still a kudos to the Tigers.
Oh, my God. Look,
because
the
they
Tigers,
are surprising. Like, if those guys are good enough to come back out and give another full season of this, they will be, like, front runners in this for a long time. I'm
going to say this because obviously I've been shitting on the bullpen games. They need another guy. Like
sure.
Like the fact that they were able, can you imagine them being in games like a 7-game series? They would have been their bullpen would have been gassed because they just don't have anybody that can give them innings.
Well, they gave up Flaherty. They were sellers at the deadline.
They were sellers. They're like, holy shit, we made the playoffs.
Yeah, like they said, they were unexpected. Yeah. And like kudos to them, like the bullpen game did work in game 2. I mean, again, the bullpen got them to game 5. Right? Mind you, Skubal helps, of course, right?
Yes, yeah.
So that's
well. In the first game he pitched lights out, and again, like,
correct.
And it sucks. Like Skubal, like he did everything that team asked him to do 99.9% of his entire season, and up until this very last inning, and Skubal. Like he's gonna get the Cy Young, and there's gonna be a sour taste in his mouth until next year. Like he's just gonna everything is gonna is just his whole season may even feel like a wash because of that moment. And that's I hate that for Skubal because he has been amazing all year and just couldn't look. I mean,
that's the breaks, man.
That's baseball,
baseball, are you
man.
Cry about it? Like what are you gonna do? Like sure, he was great, but again, you're Riley Green. Potential superstar in the making. Parker Meadows, fantastic defensively, very fast, kind of put it together with the bat. If he does that for a full season, Parker Meadows is going to be a good player in the league.
Torkelson started playing better. I mean, not
better
not
than
what we
being
wanted.
Sent to the minors.
Yes, playing better.
But they're not happy with him there.
No.
Justin Henry Malloy is just he had a ridiculous statistical postseason. Regardless, if he's a decent player going forward, sure. But Kerry Carpenter, he came out, he had an 896 OPS. He didn't play in game 5 because he couldn't even walk.
Yep.
He came in, delivered a big hit. They tried to battle back. Towards the end, I think they got it to 5-3, maybe.
I think they got because they scored 3 straight.
5-3.
Yeah.
And then Guardians added a couple on to finish it off. So they gave everything they had. Kudos to the Tigers. They literally proved us wrong the entire season.
Absolutely.
From step one, we were out on them for so long. So again, I give them kudos, give them credit. I'm excited to see what they do. If some of these young guys can continue forward, but. They're out of our lives for right now until the end of the season. We start doing preseason stuff. So and we're on to the Guardians. And when you get on the Guardians, it's another okay, right? this is who they got out there. Like, yes, they have Jose Ramirez. That's not a slight at him at all. But you've got Will Brennan. You've got Andres Jimenez. Sure.
Yep.
He's a solid Gold Glover. He was part of the Lindor trade. Very small consolation prize for Francisco Lindor,
very
of course.
small.
Stephen Kwan, very good player.
Played
he
great
had
year.
11 hits.
Great year.
Not a ton of power, but he does what he needs
Gets
to do.
on base.
Kyle Manzardo's still young. He struggled. Brian Pinocchio, Rocchio, he had a 944 OPS. I mean, he's hitting 9 for them.
Yeah.
So like, I don't really. Why don't I see his name here? Josh Naylor didn't really do much. Bo Naylor didn't really do anything.
I mean, I think Lane and Fry both did okay. Like,
No, Lane played fantastic. He
Yeah.
had 316, 947 OPS.
perfect. Yeah. What was Fry for the series?
He was a little lower, 794 OPS.
Okay, that's good. I mean, that was what Mookie did. So yeah,
1 home run, 5 RBI.
Yep.
He did strike out like 3 runs, 4 hits. He was fine.
They've
He
just
had
got a bunch of
250.
dudes that can get it done. I mean, really, in the end.
Yeah, they're like more seasoned. Like if the Tigers lineup came back in like 5 years,
That would be
and it was
yeah,
like the
that's
same
fair.
lineup. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd feel the same. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, like
Yep.
oh,
I get
like,
that.
You know, Riley Green again. I think he's going to be very, very good. I think he's going
don't
to be
disagree.
like
Yeah.
the not. I better be careful. He is going to be their star player. He already is, but he's going to take
Yeah.
over and like he's the guy. Like
Yeah.
don't pitch to Riley Green. But like Kerry Carpenter, like he could very much be like a Lane Thomas equivalent. And like Tigers fans, if they ever listen to this, they probably don't because they've been yelling at us all season. But like Kerry Carpenter's been really good when he's been healthy. He's just hurt. But again, Parker Meadows. If he can continue, they can be the Guardians. They could. If you're like, oh, that's a so again, Josh Naylor, is he great? No, but he hits 30+ home runs in a season.
Yep.
In a short sample, not too good. He has a 450 OPS, doesn't have a home run, kind of looks shitty, right? Like you know,
He should play for the Phillies.
He hit 200. I mean, he's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
He'll run into one. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
don't you know dispute that for a minute. So I don't know how I feel about them going forward. I got the notification that they are rolling with, because they have to, Alex Cobb for game 1.
So that means BB will be game 2 then.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Boyd will be like they're throwing
Boyd with
out
3.
Matthew Boyd. Like that's
But
like,
those guys are only going like 3 innings.
They're I mean they have like
Yeah.
How many innings can you get on a Matt Boyd?
I mean, like you said though, like you gotta cut that leash off quick.
Yeah, you got to just make it happen, right? And their bullpen.
It turns into a bullpen
but
game.
Their bullpen's incredible.
Yes,
but
very
again,
good.
over
Yeah.
7 games, especially when you're going to go 3 back-to-back, like that can get a little dicey.
It'll get dicey quick.
So I guess it remains to be seen what's happening. I mean, I guess, you know, if you're thinking big picture, if Bybee, BB, whatever you call him, goes second, maybe he gets deep into it. You don't have to use the bullpen. Now they're fully rested for this 3-game stretch. I don't know.
See what happens.
I'm not quite sure, you know, of the best method to deploy it. That's why, you know, we let them do what they need to do. But I say that because I have no idea who the manager is of that team.
Ooh. Is it not Cora? No.
What?
Alex Cora?
know
Am I making
it's
that up?
So, Jesus Christ. Stephen Vogt. I know that. I love Stephen
Oh,
Vogt.
shit. Okay, yeah.
Whoa.
Why did I say Cora?
Buddy, I don't know. These are the Red Sox.
I could have sworn there was a statement made about someone
Buddy,
managing
I don't know.
that.
You're talking
anyways, whatever. Who cares?
I at least just deferred from speaking about anybody. You went for it, and that was a bad move.
I went for it.
You
That's
should have
what I get.
deferred.
That's on me. That's on
Stephen
me.
Vogt. First year coaching, he's done a good job. Again, that team isn't world beaters. Like yes, they have Jose Ramirez, but it's a bunch of guys, and they're glued together, and they come through when they need to. And here we are. We're in the ALCS. You don't just get there by pure luck. You have to have some skill, some semblance of how to get there. But what they're about to run into is your big arch nemesis. You've been calling them the evil empire since the beginning of this season, and the New York Yankees are again headed to the ALCS, and I can't say that's much of a surprise.
It shouldn't be, and they're the only team that says, "Here's our 4 starters." Like
Yeah,
you
they're
look in
out- they're
ESPN,
out
they're
there.
ready. They're ready to go. So they might be the healthiest team when it comes to having starters.
And these games weren't blowouts, right? 6-5 Yankees, 4-2 Royals, 3-2 Yankees, 3-1 Yankees.
Yeah.
The Royals, all but their bats ran out of gas.
Yeah.
They
Again, like we said before, this Bobby Witt can't do everything. And he didn't, and
he
that
didn't do very much.
he didn't do very much,
that
and it
hurts. They need
showed.
him
Yeah,
to do
absolutely.
stuff.
And that team couldn't keep up.
Tommy Pham was one of their better players of the series. They hit 230. Yeah, Bobby Witt hit 118.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't know.
Struck out 5 times.
Yeah,
that's not good. Like,
ran out of gas, man. I mean, it happens when you carry a team for the
I
entire
agree.
season.
Again, they just didn't get it done, right? They didn't have enough juice, right? Vinny Pasquantino, like, he was fine, but he wasn't that. I lied. He was not fine. Oh, I take that back. He was worse than Witt.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, it's Salvador Perez. I think he hit 1 home run. I'm like, that's about really it. Had 3 hits. Like, again, they just didn't. Like, you talk about a team that, like, just didn't have the horses.
Yeah.
It's them.
Yep.
They had the pitching they held up well. Again,
Yeah, I mean,
they
got
lost by a
studs.
collective 4 runs in 3 games.
It's,
Like,
you can't walk away from that series being upset about your team. You like, if you're a Royals fan, you have to be like, wow, we have potential to be one of the top tier teams in the AL for the next few years.
yeah,
and I think that's
and
fair.
they showed some desire to spend some money.
Yep.
When they brought in the guys that they did to get them to where they are, and again, kudos to them.
What I can tell
good
you is
season.
I am not going to discount them next year.
We're not sleeping on them.
I can sleep on them
no
next year.
no more of that. So again, I'll be done with Royals talk, like, because again, kudos to them. Good season. You didn't have the horses, but you know what? I texted this to my group of Yankees fans. Nobody's allowed to talk shit on Giancarlo Stanton for a long time.
No, he carried the Yankees.
I don't care. Like, I don't care how bad he is for 162 games from, during that stretch. You're just not allowed to talk bad on him. I don't care that he can't. Okay, hang on. We got a lot more to talk about. So, he's not agile at all. His legs are, his knees have given out.
No.
He just doesn't have it. But Bob Costas, do you want to talk about who doesn't have it? It's Bob Costas.
Yeah.
Get him off my television. I hope I haven't checked who's doing these broadcasts going forward. He shouldn't be doing another game. He's horrendous. And I know he was great at some point.
Correct.
Like, and he's one of the best ever. Great. Sometimes you just got to pack it in, man. And you don't have it. He had no juice. Like, Stanton's hitting 119 mile an hour doubles to the gap, and you're swearing, like, again, it's an RBI single in June, and you're like, dude, like, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
And like, he's talking like he can't run. We get it, man. He's gonna fucking walk to second base. Nobody talks shit on Albert Pujols. He's just as fast as him. Albert Pujols is slow as shit. But nobody cares because he hits 700 home runs. You shouldn't care about Stanton either. He hits the ball at 150 miles an hour. The only reason he can't get to second is because they're at the ball, but the ball
the ball gets to the outfield,
hits the wall,
like,
and
in
comes
2
back
seconds.
to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so again, he played fantastic. He came up with timely hitting. He was a big reason why they won the last 2
Did
games.
he steal a base too, technically?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, I don't think it should count, but he definitely did.
He shows up now. I forget what the stat was. It was like most games with a home run and stolen base or something, and he's tied with, or he was on the same list as like Bernie Williams and shit. Like,
Oh, wow. Okay.
In the postseason too.
Oh, wow.
It was
Okay.
insane.
Wow. Good for him.
It was I forget the stat, but again, he played his ass off. Aaron Judge really hasn't done anything still.
Who? Who's Aaron Judge?
Yeah.
I would bet his OPS. Let me guess.
Go ahead. I'm looking at it.
405?
No, 620.
Oh, damn. Okay.
He had a double in 2 hits.
Really?
Yeah. He hit 1 double.
See, I didn't think he had
5
any
walks, 5
I didn't think he had
strikeouts.
any extra base hits.
He was on base 30. He had a 389 on base. Like,
Yeah, because
they're
he
putting
walked a
him
bunch.
on.
But I didn't think he had a single extra base hit.
had
Okay.
one.
Well, there we go. All right.
3 hits, or excuse me, 2 hits and 1 double.
Okay.
So, like, again, not really a lot going on there. Giancarlo, 1 homer, 4 RBI. He only struck out twice somehow.
Wow.
2 doubles, a 1.13 OPS. Gleyber Torres played well. I don't think we saw Jason Dominguez. I don't even know if he's on the roster. I have not looked to see who's on these rosters.
Yeah.
Jazz Chisholm is an A1 shit talker. He is your new version of, Tatis and all them, because, he just likes to talk that talk. And he didn't play particularly well. He did have a home run, but the Yankees go as Judge goes. But again, that's why I say you better be thanking Stanton. I mean, Soto had a 746. Soto was subpar.
It was subpar for Soto, but it was above average for,
800 is like an average.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I thought okay.
It's like a pretty average baseball
I mean,
player.
so for me, like in the playoffs, though, like anything that's 750 or higher, because everything
he
is
was lower,
elevated.
so he
That's
lowered
fair.
your score.
Okay, but I mean,
Gotcha.
yeah, that's fair. But he was in the ballpark, I guess.
He was fine. That's the epitome of fine. You're like,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But you didn't really get anything extra out of him. Again, they're probably pitching around him, which they should be. But
Yes.
that's the play, right? And that's what happened.
Well, and the Royals
what did
chose-
I say?
yeah.
You make those guys beat you, and Giancarlo got
Did,
you.
and he did. He beat him.
I love Giancarlo Stanton. I think,
Yes.
unfortunately, he's not as good as he used to be. He's slow. He's he's kind of a one-trick pony. But man, when he gets on that ball,
Well, that's the thing. You can't walk 3 players, right? So you have to pick between
somebody.
Stanton, Judge, and Soto. Who do you pitch to? And Stanton would be the one I would pitch to as well.
They let Austin Wells hit cleanup. He's hitting 125. Like again, there's arguments that could be made about their roster construction and their lineup construction, excuse me, and how they go about it. But they have star power, man. Right?
Yeah.
You're starting with Glaber. You've got Judge there. You got Soto there. You've got Giancarlo there. Again,
Chisholm's
Jazz
down there,
is in
yeah.
the lineup. Even Volpe can do damage.
Yes.
Especially with short porch. Verdugo's getting time now because he's a little bit better, a little bit more seasoned for postseason.
I think his defense is better too.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, I think his
Dominguez
defense is
not
definitely
very
better,
good at D. Let's take a look at their pitching. Garrett Cole, he was good. He did his job. Carlos Rodon, he was excited for that one game, and then he got pummeled.
Got beat up. Yeah.
4 runs in 3.2. Honestly,
How did
all of their
pitch?
runs came from starting pitching.
Oh.
Clark Schmidt gave up 2 earned. I don't know if he did start. Excuse me.
Yeah, he should started.
So Clark Schmidt 2 earned, Carlos Rodon 4, and Garrett Cole 4, but he threw 12 innings.
Did Gil pitch it or Heel pitch?
He did not. I don't even know if he's on the lineup.
He is. He's their fourth.
No, sorry, I don't know if he was on this roster though.
Oh, gotcha.
To the point
Okay,
of
gotcha.
how they got there. I don't think it was
Okay,
necessary.
that's fair. Oh, that's fair because they only played.
Right,
Okay,
so that's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
when you're talking Game 7, different things. So he is on the
Yeah.
roster. He's throwing Game 4.
Game
I was
4,
going to get
yes.
to.
Okay, sorry,
who
my
started.
bad.
No, you're good. But nobody else gave up a run. They did not. Their bullpen did not give up an earned run.
Damn.
Luke Weaver 0, Clay Holmes 0. Who a lot of people talk shit on Clay Holmes because he kind of went from closer role to
Yes.
mid reliever
Yeah,
setup
yeah.
guy. But Luke Weaver's the closer. Ian Hamilton, they didn't give up any runs. That's it. It all came from the starters.
Do
so
your
they
job.
had a 2.5 ERA in total for the series, and that shows they did
Yeah.
enough to get the job done. And if they do that again, I find it hard to believe the bats aren't going to come alive. Right, the judges do.
Here's the deal, and once again, it's going to be It's a 7-game series. I just don't think the Indians have the horses. Do we? We're going to skip. You want to go to
who?
it? The Guardians. Oh my God!
We're trying, man.
I'm trying badly.
It's not
I guess.
on purpose. I get it.
All right, so let's go on. Let's go. All right,
So the series is over. I was just talking about the Yankees' performance and what we're looking
Gotcha.
at going forward. Right?
Okay.
That's who we're looking at. I don't know enough of who got left off, who's on, but I do know Heel's on. I would assume they dropped the bullpen guy to do so.
yeah. So they're starting with, because Cole is game 2.
Go ahead.
So
I have it here.
Schmidt's 3.
Yep.
Heel is 4.
Yep.
So one is what?
I talked about him.
You did. I'm blanking. Who's it?
Rodon.
Oh, Rodon. That's right. Okay.
So Rodon's going 1. So Rodon, Cole, Clark Schmidt, Luis Heel, and all I know, or the only notification I have gotten is that Alex Cobb's going game 1.
Yeah. And then Bybee or BB, whatever would be 2.
Yeah,
you would
probably
think.
him, and then you would assume Boyd's gonna go.
You would assume it'd be Boyd. Yes.
We'll see.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know what they do if they throw Gavin Williams out there.
That's fair, yeah.
Again, if they go, we'll see.
Yeah.
The Guardians are going to be masking tape together.
No, I agree with that. And the thing is, the Guardians have been good all year, and their bullpen's great, very solid.
Their bullpen's A+.
Yeah, their bullpen's amazing. So their starters don't have to go 6-7 innings just to be effective. They have the dudes that can get the ball in play, and they're well seasoned, unlike say the Royals. So I think they'll be a better match for the Yankees. But it's hard to see the Guardians winning.
I do think, though, I did say this to a few people. I do think the Guardians give the Yankees a better
I completely
have a better
agree.
chance to beat the Yankees than the Tigers did.
Because the Tigers
lineup
would have
can
gotten
do it. The lineup could do it, and the bullpen is good enough. If they get decent performance, so I'll come out and say it. I'm going Yankees in. I'll do the same thing. Yankees in 6. It doesn't get to 7. Yankees in 6, and I'm tempted to say 5, but just because it goes 2-3-2, I'm going to go 6. Right? They'll take it.
So
at home.
I unfortunately am chalky with you. I do think it's Yankees in 6.
So
too.
I want to, just like I did with the Mets, in saying they can, like the Guardians can win this series. It's not dead. Like that is my pick, but they're not dead. If they get decent starting pitching performance, those bats come alive a little bit more, and the bullpen just does what it's been doing.
Correct.
all
They'll shut
year,
it down. Yeah.
They're fine. But my point is, everybody's talking shit on Judge. He obviously knows what's going on, right? He has not been great in his postseason career to this point.
Yeah.
He's due.
Yeah.
And he's going to do it in a big time. Whether it's, it almost has to be now, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to say maybe it's in the World Series, but you have to propel
time is now,
your
baby.
team.
You got to do it now.
Your
yeah.
team there.
It's now or never.
I think he's just he's ready. He's ready to break out. And I know I'm just putting credit to arguably the best player in baseball at this particular point, but he just hasn't done anything to say we're just going to. Hey, Aaron Judge isn't a factor. You're nuts.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
to think he's not.
I also think that they're, for whatever reason, finally doing what we've been telling them to do all year and not pitching well, not pitching to him. He's not getting a lot to hit.
Correct.
Right. Which,
as he shouldn't.
All season he got a lot to hit, and he did. So they're going to continue to pitch around him as they should. But eventually, you're gonna have to pitch to Judge, and when he finally gets a chance to turn on one, he's gonna hit it to the moon.
Yep.
And again, I'm with you. I think the Indians really can make this. The Guardians really make a series. Wow, I am not on this Guardians
you're
thing.
Bad.
I really think they can make this a series, but I'm just afraid they are gassed. The Tigers took them for everything.
They did.
And I think the Yankees are going to jump on it early, and I don't think they'll be able to claw back up. So, and I hate it because that's going to be from those picks means it's Dodgers, Yankees in the World Series, and I hate that a lot.
Yeah, but everybody else, the ratings love it.
The ratings love it, but I hate that because it's who can spend the most money World Series, and I don't love that.
I mean, that's 3 of these 4 teams. They're 3 of the top spenders: the Mets, the Dodgers, and the Yankees.
No, I know, and I just I don't want it to turn into the EPL where there's only 5 teams that can spend money and they always are the top 5 best teams. You know what I mean?
We can have this conversation later, but I am going to interject. Every team can do this. It's because of cheap fucking owners don't want to do it.
That's fair.
Doesn't make it so that
fair
doesn't
enough.
Make that true.
Okay,
right?
fair enough.
Every team can do this.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit if you're I'm small market. No, you're not. You get a free everybody's for subsidies when you're the one on the receiving end, right?
Yeah.
John Fisher gets however many $1 million a year from Major League Baseball for running his dog shit franchise wherever he's running.
He does not deserve to have a team.
Anyway, so again, that's why I didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
That's my point. You want the Braves to spend there too, but they tell you that they don't have the money. My ass, you don't have the money.
Right.
I guarantee you that you have the money.
Yeah.
Go do
fair.
it.
Yeah.
Right. Tanner Bybee is going game 2.
Okay.
Just in
Got
via
it.
underdog
Cha-ching.
MLB. So Bybee is going 2. That's what we assumed anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll drop 3 and 4 in the next couple minutes. The other thing I want to talk about really quick. So this game, the ALCS starts Monday, i.e. tomorrow.
Yep.
That is October 14th.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you told anybody the date, and that's why we're all screwed up.
That's fine.
But anyway, they start tomorrow. They kind of do the same thing, I understand. They'll play 2 games, so there'll be a few days in between here with just one day of baseball. But tomorrow, on Monday, the Mets and Dodgers play at 4 p.m. Eastern time
Oh my
in
God.
Game 1. The Mets and Dodgers, the two biggest markets.
In the NLCS?
And I get it's the Yankees.
It's the NLCS.
So that you're talking
what are you
1 o'clock.
doing?
Now they're in LA. You're talking 1 p.m. local time. And then everybody's like, listen, you can make fun of Dodgers fans and stuff, cool. But like everybody's gonna bitch about the Dodgers fans, be like, look how empty the stadium is. It's 1 o'clock on a Monday. Like, no shit.
That's
like,
those are two giant markets. Why the fuck?
because they don't want to compete with Monday Night Football more than they have to.
Oh my God. I hate that so much. That's dumb. That's just dumb. That's dumb.
I don't
I'm
disagree.
not going to watch most of that game because I have to work.
I mean, yeah. I hear you.
And that makes me salty.
Luckily I get out. I'll be
Salty.
driving home from work, so you know what I mean. I'll have to be breaking interstate traffic laws to consume this. So that's on you. Send my ticket to Rob Manfred. That's what I'm gonna do. And please address it to 100 whatever the fuck.
Go
Major
fuck
League
yourself.
Baseball's- whatever Major League Baseball's address is there in New York City. But like that's just frustrating. And again, like as lovers of baseball, right? As consistent consumers of baseball, we're even like, like that's kind of dumb.
That's
Like,
dumb.
we want more people to watch this. You want people to consume this. Like, and no, like I don't like. I do struggle with it being at 10 o'clock maybe, but like if that's better than it being at 1 or whatever the fuck time it's at 4 o'clock, like that's just stupid.
That doesn't
like, at some point tomorrow, you're gonna look at your watch and just be like, oh shit, it's like 10 after 4. Isn't there a game? Like you're not even gonna be like.
Not even gonna know.
Like tuned into the fact of like, like I think that game started. Like,
Yeah.
you're just gonna forget. So yeah, we'll end on a screw Rob Manfred forever and always.
Always.
What's the countdown? Is it 4 years? Is he doing 5 years from now, or is it now only 4 years?
I hope. I don't know. We have to look at it.
We'll
Hopefully,
figure
it's
it out.
4 years from now.
That's what I'm saying. I was trying to figure out how many years he was, because he said 5. He gave us 5.
Can we
right?
force early retirement?
I don't think so,
Nah,
man.
damn it.
That guy's a prick.
That sucks.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
We've got a ton of postseason baseball.
Can't wait.
I'm going to bring it up to you now. We're not going to talk about it off air. We'll talk about it right now. I would assume, like, we are going to do clearly a series recap when it's all done, and then the World Series preview, which is kind of our first anniversary in terms of dates, our 1 year anniversary.
Close.
So, like, that'll be cool to do. But I don't know if we're going to do an episode in between. Like, again, this series is going to be long. There's a good chance we don't. But we've been pretty active on X recently, kind of just going game by game, kind of doing all the scoring plays,
Instagram
showing the home run
recaps.
videos, just things like that. So you could see kind of like what some of our thoughts there. But if you feel the need that you want us to do something, you let us know. We're men of the people. We'll do what the people ask. But other than that, fully expect us to be on after the CS pre-World Series and enjoy some playoff baseball.
Great fucking baseball. So can't wait to talk to you guys next time. My name is Andrew.
And I'm Chris.
And we are the Coach's Sons Podcast.